Hello there everybody and welcome back to Movie Squirm. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 film Popeye's Revenge, and this is directed by William Stead and stars Emily McGillner and Connor Powells. When the legend of Popeye returns, he stalks and kills a bunch of counselors for revenge of what happened to him as a child. Yep, it's another one of them horror movies because a character has gone into the public domain. So we got to make a horror movie about it, of course. And I've never really watched Popeye growing up. It's just something that I never got to as a kid or anything like that. But I will say, I am one of the few people who did not mind the first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey film. Yes, it's not a very good movie, but the slasher fan inside me could get along with it. I do prefer Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 a lot more than the first one. But I hated Mickey's Mousetrap. That was my second worst movie of last year in my entire 2024 movie ranking. It was just an horrendous film and I hated it. So I really didn't know how Popeye's Revenge was going to go. But I did expect it, in all honesty, to be on the bad side of things more than the good. Now, what I will say is this has a very similar vibe to the first Blood and Honey film. Not the second one. I'm more referring to the first, and that for some people will be all they need to know. But there is a bunch of people I've spoke to who actually like that movie as well as me. So look, you know what you're getting into with these films. You know they're not going to be very good, but you're just there because you feel like you have to watch it. The slasher fan in you kind of wants to see how it's going to turn out, I suppose. And there was also some actors who've been in them two movies here. I know it's not part of the whole universe and stuff. But again, it just gives that similar feel. Now, a lot of people love to just shit on these movies and just say that they're just cash grabs and just say, look, they're the worst pieces of trash ever. These movies shouldn't be made. And you know what? I get it. Because if a character is going into the public domain, obviously you're making a movie about it, you're there to make money. But what movies aren't made to be making money? It's kind of a catch-22 situation a little bit there. But I can forgive it if it feels like there's a little bit of heart put into the story. And I think William Stead did the best he could with what he had to work with here. So I can sort of give it the benefit of the doubt. Mickey's Mousetrap, I can't. That was just an awful piece of trash. But this, I don't know, it feels like they're really trying here. Now, we do get a little bit of a backstory for Popeye himself. It's all done with storyboard animation, kind of like the first Blood and Honey movie did. And a lot of people may say that's kind of lazy, but I also remember people saying that was the best part of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. But I think, personally, it's kind of cool. And you have got to keep in mind when you watch these movies, the budget these guys are working with. They would have had to film a whole load of backstory and stuff, but to just see it done like this at the start of the movie and try to character build Popeye, I think it kind of works. I actually liked watching this little 3-minute segment here explaining the origins of Popeye and why he has become this demented killer. And he's also called Popeye because he squeezes a kid's head and pops his eyes out, so there's that. After turning up on his little boat and he starts getting to the sleigh, I gotta say that they tried to really be as inventive and creative as they could with the budget they had. I mean, there's people being decapitated. There are a moment where Popeye and his massive forearms just punch through someone's stomach right there. I was like, holy shit. And that's right at the start of the movie, so it sort of sets you up with, you know, the sinisterism that this movie is going to go for. And at one point, he even pulls someone's spine out, for God's sake. So, yeah, it doesn't shy away from what it wants to do. And I give it credit for that. You know, it tries to do something inventive with each coming kill. And this really gave me Friday the 13th style movie vibes, because you got just this big, hulking dude who doesn't really speak. And he just go around killing teenagers in the woods, of course, a classic horror movie location. And Popeye turns up when the fog comes into this location. That's his whole deal. That's when he shows up. And it just gave off another sort of horror movie classic style vibe with all the fog being pumped through the set there. So I kind of like the look of the movie, in all honesty. And when I said William Stead tried to put some heart into this, I really do think he did. I think he'd done what he could with the directing side of things. To me, I don't know if it's the best of his ability, but he really did, try to do some things differently here. I really like his use of lighting, where Popeye is just walking through the woods, covered by shadows, and then he will turn at another angle and the light will just reveal him there. There's also a moment where someone turns some headlights on and Popeye is just there, right there, all lit up and stuff. So I think he tried to do something with the lighting as best as he could. There's also a moment, which was one of my favourite moments of the movie, where this guy is just chilling by the lake and Popeye rises from the water behind him in a really cool little scene there. So it would have been very easy to just direct this as straightforward as possible, but I do think William Stead tries to bring something different here and there. Nothing too drastic. It's not going to be anything standout or anything, nothing you haven't seen before, but I'm glad that he gave it something when he could. And I got to say, if you are a slasher fan, this is a very, very easy watch, in my opinion. I mean, the slasher fan in me was just having as good as a time as I could with it, but at 79 minutes, even if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to be there for the long haul. This is, a lower runtime than your average movie, put it that way. Now, I got a bit of a mixed thought on Popeye himself. I think he looked kind of cool with the whole outfit and stuff and the big forearms, which are mainly shown when he is just lurking in the background. However, this is a mixed thought because when Popeye is sort of doing the kills and stuff, you just see this big hulking dude in Stephen Murphy, the guy who plays him. And you can sort of tell that they're just using this guy because he's got big arms. The forearms sort of padding is sort of gone there. And they're kind of hoping you don't notice. So, yeah, I kind of just thought, oh, yeah, it's kind of, I can see that they haven't really stuck to the whole Popeye look in certain scenes with, involving the forearms and stuff. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? Again, it's a low-budget movie, isn't it? Also, he is a silent killer here, which was a good thing, because when he did eventually open his mouth, I was like, oh, no, just keep it shut there, Stephen. Oh, yeah. I like the killer to a certain extent. I gotta say, guys, one of the biggest negatives for me here was the characters. First off, the acting. It's mediocre. I mean, I wouldn't say anyone was terrible in the movie or anything, but the line delivery from some of these characters is just off at times. I will say that some of the screams they pull off aren't convincing at all, and when characters look like they should be in a lot of pain, you're just not convinced by what they're showing in their faces. Not all. I mean, some are obviously better than others, but I gotta say, as characters as well, most of them, I just didn't like at all. I mean, you got this guy who's cheating on his girlfriend at every opportunity he can with another girl who's there, and I just wasn't buying that. I mean, they could be very easily caught at any moment. For instance, there's this hot tub right next to the house they're staying in. It's not even yards away, it's right next to it. And he's in there with this girl who's basically naked. She's got a top off and stuff like that. She's all over him and kissing him and stuff. And his girlfriend could just walk out at any second. And I was just like, really? Are we meant to believe that they're trying to hide all this? It just felt really silly. Yeah, as a viewer, I was just like, I can't really get behind what they're trying to hide from his girlfriend. It just felt so stupid. I mean, there's this stoner guy who asks this girl out and she's just very, very nasty about it and sort of mocks him. And he's tried to build up this courage and asking her out. And just not very nice people or characters, really. No one is likable. Also, the two main protagonists the movie focuses on, they've got this romance going on. And he's trying to build up the courage to tell her that he's moving away. And it just doesn't really go anywhere. It's kind of just lazy writing to put in there to say, oh, look, we're trying with these characters, but we don't really know what to do with them overall. And when it doesn't actually go anywhere, I wasn't invested anyway, but then I was just like, what was the whole point in that? Yeah, no one is written well here. There's just no one I could say really stood out that I liked. Also, there's this whole backstory over Popeye's house, where it got burned to the ground, and then it goes on about who owns the house now, and then that person was killed, so who owns the house after that, and it's their responsibility to build the house and stuff. And I was just getting really, really confused and kind of bored by this storyline. Yeah, just did not work for me at all, the way they were trying to get that across. And whilst I appreciate them going for the kills here, I probably should have put this in the mix section with the inventive kills and stuff, but a lot of this is just cutaway or kind of happening off camera. Like, a kill will happen and then you'll just see blood sprayed across the camera, or a character's face will have blood squirting on the character's face while the kill is actually happening off the camera in that sort of area, if you like. Yeah, I get it though. It's the budget. They can't really do too much. This isn't exactly Damien Leone, who can make magic out of pennies here. There is one or two that you kind of do see where, you know, they do it well. But you can just, they go for so many kills in this movie and they just can't do it with the budget they have, I presume. Look, guys, I can see a lot of you hating this movie, but the slasher fan inside me, I don't know, I kind of got through it with a little bit of enjoyment. It was a watchable movie. There were portions of it that I kind of liked. I'm just going to go ahead and rate this movie now. I'm going to give Popeye's Revenge a 5.5 out of 10. Not a bad score, really. Sorry if you guys watch this review and then go to the movie and absolutely hate it, but I can only give you my personal thoughts on it. And I will never lie to anyone on this channel. So, yeah. Fairly decent movie for a low budget horror. Okay guys, at the end of these reviews I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now apparently there's another Popeye movie either coming out or it's been released, but I think it's more coming out later in the year, called Popeye the Slayer Man. Yeah, maybe I'll review that one on the channel as well. Okay guys, hope you all enjoyed this review. Don't forget to check out more 2025 horror movie reviews in the link down below. What did you think of Popeye's Revenge? Have you not seen it? Has this review turned you maybe towards watching it? Please do let me know in the comments. Please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. It would really help me out if horror is your sort of thing. Thanks so much guys, you take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.